Hello world! My name is Liang Niao, a hard sci-fi author. My novella, The Saddle Trigger, is available on the Amazon bookstore, link below. Recently, I saw the My Yang story tag trending on Twitter. So today, I'm going to share my Yang story. As a hard sci-fi author, world building comes with the territory. So I took a deep dive into the world of Adam Smith, Karl Marx, Milton Friedman, John Keynes, and Thomas Sowell, and to the most recent modern monetary theory. Obviously, I didn't come up with any sort of competing theory or insight. In fact, I found Milton Friedman and Thomas Sowell, two famous capitalists. They are the most compelling, and therefore, from reading them, I became a socialist. I do believe that socialism is the economy of the future, and that will be made apparent in my future novellas, and I hope you will have a chance to read about it. No, you didn't hear that wrong. I did say socialist and socialism. I often had to explain how I can arrive at socialism when studying capitalism from staunch capitalists. But it's just explaining it is has always been a rewarding experience, and further strengthen my belief. With that said, after listening to the 2020 presidential debates and all the candidates, whether it's Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, or Bernie Sanders, none of them had any economic plans that made sense. Especially Bernie Sanders, who by all logic should be my first choice. But everything from his wealth tax to his $15 minimum wage to the free college and universal health care, all of which just tells or calls out the an arbitrary monetary value, but doesn't really address the fundamental problem of overall availability of healthcare, college, and the quality of the supply. It doesn't, I mean, think about this. It doesn't matter if everyone gets $15 an hour if a loaf of bread is $100, nor do I care if I only get $5 an hour if an iPhone is only costs $1 each. Do you see the problem here is not how much you get, but how much everything costs. Like Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren wants to tax the rich to pay for the universal healthcare and education, and it just doesn't work because you can literally rob the richest people in the United States, I mean, all the billionaire, only to pay for 1 year of the cost of these program. And so what do we do for the year two, right? It just doesn't work. There's not enough money for you to tax. And Joe Biden, on the other hand, just gets his number wrong, which is actually quite concerning for chief of the executive office. In fact, if all three of these candidates just come out and admit that, oh, they are just going to print money to pay for all these programs, and that's actually far more feasible than any alternative they have mentioned. Now, so what about Yang? How is UBI better than any of these other programs and plans they have? It is better because UBI address a fundamental problem with a highly automated society. Imagine one day that machines can replace 25% of the workforce. How are these 25% of the workforce going to survive without a job? On the other hand, 75% of the workforce can leverage automation to completely replace the other 25% without any detriment to the economy. Now imagine if you are one of these 25% of the workforce that has been replaced by automation, and someone just come up to you and tell you, like, hey, I'm sorry, you are no longer needed by the society, and everything you do is basically just a detriment to the economy, and just go off to the corner and die. And like, how do you think you'll feel? Like when you want to get back at the society when you want to cause some civil unrest? So, who really benefits from this increase in productivity? I mean, if you think about it, for a machine that can make 1,000 loaves of bread a day, but there are really only 10 people in the entire society, and 25% of them can't afford one loaf because they don't have a job. Then what? Imagine if this increased to the point where automation can replace 50% of the economy. Half of them will be starving, other half will have excess surpluses that feed the entire society 10 times over. So, what do we do? Well, everyone says that we will adapt. People have adapted through all the industrial revolution and other problems this society brought up. Well, sure, but 99% of the life form that ever existed on the surface of this earth went extinct because they can't adapt. So what do we do? I don't know. This is something that the entire society has to come together and decide. But so far, I think the value-added tax proposed by Andrew Yang is just as important because the value-added tax is a consumption tax and the machines consumes the most raw material for production, and so they will be taxed more, and the wealth made by this VAT made by the machines can be distributed to everyone. Therefore, at least everyone will have a chance to live and survive while we figure out exactly what to do. I firmly believe that UBI is the first step to a solution to the automation problem, and I firmly believe that this is the right path to take. And that's why I support Yang. And that's my rant. Thank you for listening, and let me know what you think in the comments below. And that is all, world.